Hi guys, this is Melanie, just taking another spur-of-the-moment spontaneous video, just on a bike ride and jumped off because this is the thought that came to me. Just gonna share a little bit of myself with you. I'm wearing a dress because I went to church this morning and I don't like changing a million times, so it's just a casual dress. I didn't want to change again, so I just put on some sneakers and I did my walking, and now I jumped on the bike. So just taking a little break here. So just, it's important to keep those wheels turning, keep those juices flowing. Use it or lose it. Anyway, this is a part 2 to a previous video entitled Ridding Ourselves of Depression and Anxiety, or maybe it was called Ridding of Depression and Anxiety. I think that was it. Anyway, that'll be part 1, and this is a part 2 because there was things that I neglected to mention that I feel are important. If you recall, I mentioned my doctor shared a wisdom with me, and it was that depressed people tend to live in the past a lot, while anxious people tend to look forward to tomorrow or the future a lot, too much. But the people who seem to be the happiest are the people who worry in the moment, not one way, not the other, but who live in the moment, just worrying about today, taking life minute by minute, hour by hour, just like that. And I wish I could say I was completely that person. Now, I don't live in the past. I have no problem moving on and starting anew. I've done it numerous times in my life, and I've gotten quite good at it, actually. And but looking to the forward, now normally that was not a concern. It wasn't a concern for financial or worrying about, oh, am I going to get a new boyfriend, a husband, whatever. That was never an anxiety of mine. But recently I found out, as I shared on that previous video, that an anxiety of mine was medical issues, like health issues. Didn't previously have any, do now, and I didn't realize how much anxiety I get just going to the doctor, just that whole medical hospital, having tests done, just walking into the doctor, even if it's just to talk to them about results or something. My blood pressure goes way up, and I'm normally down, and so yeah, it's a true anxiety. Anyway, so I did mention that truth that my doctor shared with me on my first video, but I wanted to take it one step farther for the anxiety part, looking forward. This is where I was in the health issues, and I justified it. And I did it in other aspects of my life, but not to such an obsessive degree. It was more to a, within the high side of a healthy norm. And here's why I did it. I thought it was a wise thing to do. Be prepared. They always say, be prepared. I'm a former Girl Scout, and be prepared. Especially when you're a single woman, and a single mature woman. Not that I am now. Mature, yes. Single, no. Anyway, I'm having a hard time holding this phone up. My arm is clenching up. Okay, good exercise, good mental exercise too. I can endure the pain, for God's sake. Okay, anyway, so as when I divorced at age 50, it was scary, but yet, you just have to have the right attitude, and I didn't need to look too far ahead. I was just taking each day, day by day, and, got through it, and wasn't bad at all, and ended up turning out to be a good thing. And anyway, oh, here comes a car. I hate when that happens, because I look like I'm conceited or something. Yes, let me take videos of myself. Anyway, so I got through that. That wasn't a problem, but this medical stuff had really took me for a loop, and I justified it. Oh, this is... Okay, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. The things we do to justify keeping our bad habits. I justified my looking forward to the future because as a former Girl Scout, and I just thought it was a wise thing to do. Okay, going back to where I was, as a single, then mature woman, I just thought it was wise to, prepare, plan for the future. We aren't getting any younger. I was at a place where I couldn't rely on a guy, so I had to plan. Well, I didn't realize I was developing a nasty little habit of looking a little too far ahead. And like I said, for other life issues, I kept it on the high side of normal. But for this health issue, I went to high alert. And, what if this happens? What if that happens? And it really robbed me of my peace. And this is my peace and joy. It dominated my mind. Now, I'm much better than where I was, but I'm still not in the normal zone. I'm still outside of that. And I recognize this and I acknowledge it, and I want it to be better. So I'm working on that every day. And so, because I do realize this truth, that if you look too far to the past, waste too much time looking at the past, or, oh, why didn't I say this, or why didn't I do that about that situation, or, that friend, why didn't I say that to her, I should have done this, and looking back and holding regrets, and, the past is past, and, all we have is the here and now. And, like I said, even the same thing with looking too far into the future can be destructive by robbing us of our peace and joy in the moment. Because I was realizing as I'm on I was getting out on the bike and walking, but what was going on in my head? Still thinking those thoughts, about the medical tests and, this and that, instead of just waiting, till that day comes up, for the results, instead of, just thinking, oh, what if it's positive, and, what am I going to do then? What's going to be my plan of action? So now that I realize, I want to warn you too, because, I consider myself a strong person, but, nobody's strong in everything. And when we see that we're lacking in an area, we just got to admit it and do our best to fix it. So that's where I'm at now. So now I purposely put on some funky music in my earphones, enough of this slow, I was before listening to calming stuff, but my mind could still think on. Well, when you have AC/DC Thunderdome, is it Thunderdome or Thunderstruck? I forgot. Anyway, pumping in your ears, and, some of these funky, songs from the 70s and 80s, gets my juices flowing. It's kind of hard to think a coherent thought in your head. So I just get into the music and ride and feel good. And, sometimes that's what we have to do in life, is just kick our own ass, And, well, that's all I wanted to share. If you want a better life, you want to be happier and more at peace, don't live in the past, don't live in the future. Try to be present in the here and now, and leave, just do your best and leave the rest in God's hands. That's all we can do. Okay, guys, peace out.